Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday Check-In. So this past Sunday we considered the story from the Gospel of Matthew where Jesus says to give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to give to God what is God's. Now in the narrative there, it's about the authorities trying to trap Jesus into saying something inflammatory. But really what he does is instead lead us to think spiritually about where and how we might be either seeing and giving merit to the image of God in ourselves and in the world, which I think leads us to an interesting reflection about where and when and why we might give praise to God. It's easy to give praise to God for a beautiful sunset. Perhaps it might be a little harder to give praise for something that we wish to claim personal credit for ourselves. So the question is, in what ways might we try to take what is the Lord's for ourselves? I mean, the truth of the matter is, as we hear in Psalm 24, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. But sometimes we forget to live as if that were true. So I thought it might be productive today to focus on identifying a couple of things that we could give back to the Lord this week. Particular things where we might not want to give up the merit of them easily. Things that are important to our own identity. Maybe like being proud of our intellect or our problem-solving ability, or proud of our listening skills or empathy, or our physical health or prowess, or our children or our work. Ultimately, all power and spirit come from God, and it's always a good thing to remember that, even as we actively partner with God in our lives. So, if you'd like to join us in this reflection, I invite you now to just settle in your seat wherever you are. Let's take in a deep breath together, in and out. And as we release that breath, let it ground us in our seat. And if you wish to, you may close your eyes. So let's start with some breath prayer. Breathing in, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Breathing out, the world and all who live in it. Breathing in, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Breathing out, the world and all who live in it. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. The world and all who live in it. So now, let's settle on an accomplishment or a quality that we're proud of. And imagine offering that back to the Lord with gratitude. Let's imagine holding that thing in our hands and then offering it up to the Lord. And as we sit in silence for a moment or two, let's imagine that same thing again with the same quality or accomplishment or a different one. And let's now return to our breath prayer. Breathing in, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Breathing out, the world and all who live in it. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. The world and all who live in it. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. the world and all who live in it. Amen. So now let's take one more deep breath together. And as we breathe out, let that action bring us back into whatever space that we're in. So thank you so much for joining in that reflection together. You are very much invited to share in the comments anything that you personally have decided to give back to the Lord this week. I think I'm going to add this practice to my daily to-do list. Just put it on there, something that I can check or cross off, remembering to give gratitude back to the Lord. And just to, build in that habit a little bit more going forward. So thanks so much for being with us. And we do hope that you can join us at church on Sunday, 10:30 a.m., either in person or online. Take care, everyone.